The Japanese and Qing invasions had left the Joseon kingdom ravaged. Its kings became even more isolationist and would establish a complete ban on trade and contact with Westerners. The punishment for those who came to the shores of Korea was simple: death. Under this secluded peace, however, signs of change were brewing. European missionaries began entering the country and converting thousands to Christianity. The Qing dynasty was humiliated in numerous wars with the West, and the modernizing Japan was rising to challenge the balance of power in East Asia. In 1882, the United States was the first Western country to sign a treaty with Joseon. From 1894 to 1896, a series of reforms would seek to modernize Korea. These were called the Gabo Reforms, and came about after the defeat of the Qing dynasty in the First Sino-Japanese War. After this point, the Korean king Gojong believed that China would be unable to protect Korea. One of the main goals of the Gabo Reforms was the usage of Hangul in all official documents. By this point, nationalism among Koreans had risen, and faith in the old Chinese order disappeared. Many groups in Korea, such as the Independence Club, wanted to transform Korea into a modern nation state like Japan. But even as Hangul began to be used in more and more official contexts, it was rarely used by itself. More often, in newspapers, government notices and books, Hangul and Chinese characters would be used in conjunction with each other. This was called the mixed script. This script had the advantages of being easier to understand, but it still required knowledge of Chinese characters, something that most peasants lacked. The reasons for the incomplete use of Hangul stemmed from two main reasons. First was the long-held disdain for Hangul among the Confucian scholars. They considered the writing barbaric. The second reason was that Hangul during this time was completely unstandardized. Should it be written from right to left or left to right? Horizontally or vertically? What would the proper spellings be for words? What about grammar? What about pronunciation? Because of the complete disregard for Hangul by the elite, it was never fully developed into a uniform writing system, and therefore it faced many challenges being used by itself. These challenges did not go unnoticed, however. A group of scholars, led by the father of Korean linguistics, Ju Shi-kyung, created what is now called the Korean Language Society in 1908. Influenced by nationalism and the study of Western linguistics, they would go on to research into the grammar, spelling, and pronunciation of Korean and Hangul, and attempt to spread its use. Even after Korea was annexed by Japan in 1910, the society continued on with its research. One of their biggest goals was the creation of what they called the Big Korean Dictionary. For years, the 30 or so members began compiling words to include in the dictionary. They found words through sources such as previous dictionaries, newspapers, and novels, among many others. They would also organize meetings with people from all over the provinces to choose on a standard pronunciation. Moreover, the society had a brilliant idea of crowdsourcing for regional words. They would send letters to local schools and ask the students there to submit any words that they used in their regional dialect. Through this process, the dictionary combined was able to have over 230,000 words in total. But disaster struck when in 1942, Japanese officials arrested the members of the Korean Language Society. They were charged with attempting to start an independence movement, and were thus sent to jail. The original copy of the Korean dictionary, which had already been finished, was also taken by the Japanese. Regardless, the members faced torture. Some members got off even more severely than others. One of them was Che Hyun-bae, who told his jailers that he of course had revolutionary intentions with the dictionary. 2 members of the society even passed away while in prison. Even after Korea gained independence, the members of the Korean Language Society were in despair. They had lost the manuscripts for the dictionary. It seemed like they would have to start the decades-long process all over again. The leader of the Korean Language Society at that time, Chung Tae-jin, said this: "Thinking about the incident makes me grave. My soul hurts more now than when I was in the torture chamber." This was until a call came, around 3 weeks after independence. This is Seoul Station. Inside the Ministry of Transport Storage, we found a pile of finished research on the Korean language. Come and confirm this. In a dramatic turn of events, the fate of the dictionary was finally discovered. It had survived the war intact in a storage department. Work quickly began for the society to finally publish the dictionary. The first volume out of 6 was published. The issue became then that the Korean Language Society did not have the funds to print more. What happened next? Would the dictionary project fail, or would it succeed?